Hey, what's going on, everybody? Donovan here with Trumpet Thoughts. So, are you familiar with this book, The Balanced Embouchure? I bought this, now I guess 20 years ago. This says copyright 2001. I think I got it somewhere right around then. And I remember going through it, and honestly, I thought it was very interesting. And I know a lot of people have had success with it, but I couldn't figure it out. And so I was thinking about something the other day, and I remember that there's a few things in here that I remember is very similar to some of the Callet stuff that I've been doing. And Jeff Smiley, the author here, often and throughout the book kind of credits Jerry Callet with a lot of the ideas that are presented in this book here. And so I thought, well, because I'm so interested in all this Callet teaching stuff anyway, I should go back and kind of look into that again. So I grabbed it earlier this week, a couple days ago, and just started reading through it again, and was really surprised how much stuff in there and similarities there are to the stuff that Callet taught. Most of the things in here are more similar to what Jerry was teaching in the Trumpet yoga days, which is his stuff from like the 70s. But there's still a lot of similarities today. And frankly, I think whether you're doing TCE or any of the Callet stuff or not, I think there's a lot of actually very valid content in here. And so tonight, I've been kind of doing a few of the exercises just over the last few days as I warm up. I was playing in a orchestra concert this week, so I was kind of using some of the things to kind of warm up for that and to keep loose, especially the rollout exercises. But so tonight I thought, I'm going to grab this book and just sort of like run through it again and see how I feel about it. And now having done it, I really like it, and I think there's quite a bit to offer to it. So I'll kind of give you the Cliff Notes version of it if you're not familiar with the Balanced Embouchure. The idea that, and again, this is my understanding of it, so if I'm wrong, then someone can correct me here. But the idea is that essentially an embouchure, a trumpet embouchure, brass embouchure is really a complex thing, and there's some amount of flexion and relaxation, kind of rolling in, rolling out, some amount of like separation that goes into a functional embouchure. But more importantly, it should be dynamic, and those things should be changing as you like ascend and descend and whatever, play louder, play softer. And so what Jeff has done is develop these exercises that allow you to kind of teach and instruct yourself through the exercises the best way to accomplish this, the most efficient way to accomplish it. And I find for me, especially, there's a few things about it that really, I think, are helpful for me. Many of you, if you've watched the channel for a time, know that like one of the issues I've had over the years is that my bottom lip wants to kind of tuck in under my top lip. And which is why I find some of the TCE stuff I think so helpful, because it helps to keep that bottom lip from tucking in and kind of collapsing underneath my bottom lip or under my top lip, and that loses all the support. And there's actually a section at the end of this book in the troubleshooting section where Jeff addresses just exactly that. But what I find is that by doing the rollout exercises, and the rollout exercises are essentially just playing the Callet double pedals. And just like in Jerry's books and in Rich Colhoun's books, it's connecting that double pedal register to your normal register. And the reason for that, yes, you get the benefits of relaxation and moving air and the increased blood flow, but that's not really the reason. The reason for the double pedals is to teach you how that bottom lip should come out to create an optimum seal in your embouchure. So as we seal this best, it seals where you can compress the air better, and then also your lips can vibrate better. And so that those double pedals are basically teaching that position. And I find that like tonight as I was going through it, I was like, whoa, I can definitely tell, and I noticed this over the week, this last week too, could definitely tell a difference in the increase of the internal compression I'm able to create by having that bottom lip kind of be out there more and supporting more the top lip. So that's the rollouts, and those are essentially, like I said, the Callet double pedals. But the real magic is once you learn those notes is just like like that, is trying to keep those things out there. And so that's the extreme kind of rolled out embouchure. But that's not the only embouchure you play with. And the other thing he has you learn is this rolled in embouchure. And this rolled in embouchure is an embouchure that to me feels like it's kind of flexed and brought back. And he first has you teach that by just kind of squeaking your lips. He calls it a lip plant, something like that. And then just doing that and with the horn on your face. It doesn't really matter how high you play, but it's just kind of whatever note comes out. And then so that's now the embouchure is kind of rolled in. And to be clear, it's not rolled in like this, like where it's over your teeth, like I was kind of doing before. It's just kind of rolled in front of your teeth. And those notes tend to be softer, but you're learning this kind of extreme. It's basically a high note embouchure. He describes that in the book, high note embouchure. And so then the trick is to learn how to meld these two things together. And it's really fascinating. And then there's a lot of the book that he encourages tonguing on the lips, even if it's just ending a note. And to me, the benefit of that is a couple things. One, it makes sure that your teeth are properly apart. If your teeth are not far enough apart, it's very difficult to get the lips in. Two, it encourages having those lips in the right position between your teeth. So when you tongue on the top lip, so it's not just tongue on the lips, but tongue on the top lip. In order to do that, the top lip has to be below your top teeth for you to do that. And I find that on the low notes, I can tongue the pedal tones, even though my lips are rolled out and very far forward. Tonguing right on the top lip. And then on the upper notes, I can do the same thing, but by that point, the lips are kind of brought in more. There's this thing too where he likes you to what he calls zip the note. So the last note, when you're holding the last note, kind of like a burst of air, and then the tongue striking. And again, that's the same thing, just to make sure that your tongue can go through, that your teeth are far enough apart, that the lip is in the right position. Really fascinating. And he has good takes on how to teach lip slurs and about how to build air compression inside. And then how to learn to play with controlled volume. He also has some great exercises in his lip slurs about not just being able to slur up quickly, but also be able to send, which again, as we slur, rather than just trying to blow hard or just use your tongue, to me, it's like if you're starting on a lower note slur, you're pulling it back, flexing, and to me, I'm kind of flexing against my tongue, like that. And man, I found it really useful, very helpful. And even if you're not doing the TCE thing, if you're anchor tonguing or modified anchor tonguing or something like that, which I do think everyone should do that. Everyone should be, if you're not doing TCE, you should at least be doing the anchor tongue. But these exercises will work for that. So yeah, I'm really into it. I think it's really cool. I think it's, even though I like the TCE stuff, and I tend to blend a couple of these approaches together. I find most of the TCE stuff, that the people you hear that do it, it's usually used for really loud playing and high playing. And for some of my playing, I feel like that sound is just too strident, and I need something that I can kind of blend with others better. And so being able to do these kind of things help me, I think, to blend in with other musicians, other trumpet players as well, while still using some elements of that tongue forward that for me just works the best. So I think this is really cool. I think there's a lot of similarities between what Callet was teaching and what this is teaching, and I think that this book would be really handy for anybody. I'm not sure if the site's still active or not, because this is an old book, but you might check it out, trumpetteacher.net. I'll try to look it up and see if it is still active. I got this zooming camera thing here, but if it is active, I'll let you know. But yeah, I would encourage it. Have you used it? If you have, let me know your thoughts in the comments.